The clarity slider is located in the presence section of the basic panel. So it's in the basic panel near the bottom. And clarity is a corresponding tool to go with contrast. So very quickly, contrast, if we look at the histogram here, if you watch the top and bottom, and then what's going on in the middle, you'll see that it's crushing the blacks and increasing the whites, but then it flattens out in the middle as the process. So we can see the tones are going down. As we look at the image, we can see the bright parts have become very bright, and the dark parts have gone in and become very clipped, like all of these shadow areas have become much, much darker. So I'm going to double click to reset that. Clarity, on the other hand, is a mid-tone contrast, so it avoids working towards these edges. We can see that we've got all of the shadow detail back after resetting contrast, and this area is no longer blown out the way it was. But now by pushing up the clarity tool instead, it increases the contrast in the mid-tone. So we can see this area here is increasing, but the blacks and whites are staying pretty much the same, or very close to it. So we still have a little bit of detail here compared to with contrast. So this has given a lot of punch to the image, and it's even lifted the saturation as well, even though we haven't gone near the saturation as we've been doing it. There's also a form of clarity called negative clarity, which is just going the other way. And what it does is it tends to soften the image. It kind of spreads out the colours. It reduces the edges and the midtones, so the colours kind of bleed into each other. And after a while, it's just revolting. That's just disgusting. It's horrible. So I'm going to double click to reset that, and we're going to move on to another image. I'm going to go to a male portrait first. And I'm going to show this to you using the clarity tool. By increasing clarity with male portraits, you start to get a lot of detail in the faces, and the pores come out, and the skins and the line. It's absolutely gorgeous and really, really super enhanced the portrait. I love it on this, and I think on the actual image itself I've actually used 52 on the one I've got printed. Now if we go the other way, again it's going to soften it even more, and it just makes it really grey. It just really doesn't work for this portrait. So now I'm going to look at it with a female portrait. So I increase the clarity, and it starts to look a little bit more like a caricature. It's not very, very flattering. I'm not going to go the whole way, but I will bring it down this way, and we can see that it's starting to soften the skin, and that's really, really nice. So we bring it down the whole way, and yeah, that's kind of ugly. Yeah, let's not do that. Okay, double click to reset that. Now, it would be great if you have a way to get it just on the skin, and yes, indeed we do, and that's using the adjustment brush. So we come here to adjustment brush. Now there is a preset called soften skin, which gives you -100 clarity and +25 sharpening. It's a little bit much. With the brush you can change the size and the feather, and then the flow allows you to build it up, and the density sets the maximum amount that you can have on. I generally use flow and density full for the most part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by painting the face. Ooh, I don't mean to be grabbing it, I haven't now started painting yet. So we can see that's obviously affecting all the lips and the eyes and everything. So I'm going to make this a little bit smaller now as well using the square bracket key. Square bracket key changes the size. You can grab the slider as well. And if you use shift and square bracket keys, it'll change this feather. So now I'm going to hold down the alter option key, which will change us to the erase brush. If you see here, erase is active, A is active, and then erase is active. So as we bring it across the eyes, you can see the difference between the two eyes there. And then do the same with the lips. We can see that it's brought the colour back to the lips. Generally, anywhere there's lines, like finger lines and things like that, you want to remove the clarity off them, or the negative clarity in this case. Now, I still think this is too strong. So if you hold down the alter option key and hover over the pin, it allows you to pull back so that you can set it at a lower level. We can see that it's changing proportionally. And I'm going to add that little bit of noise in as well, because that will help do. That's noise reduction in this case rather than noise. So I'm just matching the sharpness. That helps do a little bit of a blur. If I hold down the O key, I can see where I've gone over. And again, I can press the alter option key. And when my tablet catches up, I can then paint this off the areas where I don't want it to be, like on the hair and things like that. I was kind of using a big brush, so I still want that detail in the hair. Again, I've gone too much, so all I need to do is let go, change the size of my brush using the square bracket keys again, and just paint the mask into the areas where I want it again. So I press O to get rid of that too, and we can see that that has made a big difference. So I turn on and off the switch here at the bottom of the brush panel. You can see the skin has gotten quite soft. So that's quite flattering in my opinion. I might even be tempted to add a little bit more in this case. So that is a look at various different aspects of the clarity tool. Thanks for watching folks, and I hope you found that useful. Hopefully you picked up 1 or 2 little tips that'll help you with your use of the clarity tool. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the like button. Give me a thumbs up if you want to. And of course, if you want to get notified, hit the bell. Thanks for taking the time to watch this, and I'll see you in the next video.